They played games, ate cotton candy, and listened to music. They laughed and danced under the warm sun. Mia felt incredibly happy. However, just as the sun was at its peak, dark clouds began to gather in the sky. The wind started to blow, and everyone felt a sudden change in atmosphere. Without warning, the sky opened up and heavy rain poured down. People scrambled to find shelter, and the joyful laughter turned to shouts of concern. Mia and her friends ran to a nearby tent, but the heavy rain caused chaos everywhere. The festival looked bleak as puddles formed and mud spread across the ground. Mia felt a wave of disappointment wash over her. The day she had been waiting for turned into a rainy mess. What do we do now? Sam asked, looking worried. The joy they felt just a moment ago was now replaced with sadness. But Mia took a deep breath and said, "We can still have fun, even if it's raining." At first, her friends looked unsure. But Mia's smile sparked a new idea. "Let's make our own fun. We can splash in the puddles and play games." Lily's face lit up, and she jumped up and down. "Yes, let's do it." Sam agreed too, and with Mia leading the way, they stepped outside into the rain. The moment their feet hit the puddles, they exploded with laughter. The cold water splashed up around them, soaking their clothes, but they didn't care. They jumped, splashed, and spun around, feeling free like never before. Mia's laughter echoed through the rain, brightening the gloomy day. As they played, Mia noticed some other children standing under a tree, looking sad and left out. They were afraid of getting wet. Mia's heart felt heavy for them. "Come on, join us," she shouted, waving her arms. At first, the other kids hesitated, but seeing Mia's joy, they slowly moved closer. After a moment, one brave boy stepped forward and jumped into the nearest puddle. The splash was so big it soaked everyone nearby. Laughter erupted again, and soon all the children joined in. The festival was not the same as before, but now it was filled with laughter and joy, despite the rain. Mia felt proud. She had turned a disappointing situation into a fun one for everyone. As they played together, they shared stories, laughed even harder, and formed new friendships. Mia realized that resilience was not just about picking yourself up, but also about lifting others. After a while, the rain began to slow, and the sun peeked out from behind clouds. The ground was muddy, but the air smelled fresh, and a beautiful rainbow appeared over the village. Everyone paused to admire its beauty, forgetting the rain that had just fallen. Suddenly, Mr. Thompson, the village mayor, stepped onto a small stage set up for the festival. "Thank you for your spirit today. This year, we have a special award for the bravest and most resilient group," he announced, looking around. The children gathered closer, their hearts racing with excitement. Mr. Thompson continued, "This award goes to the children who reminded us that challenges can lead to joy. The winner is Mia and her friends." Cheers erupted as Mia and her friends rushed to the stage. They stood beaming as Mr. Thompson handed them a shiny trophy. Mia felt a flood of emotions. She was proud, happy, and a little shy as everyone clapped for them. She whispered to her friends, "We did this together. It was all because we didn't give up." Sam and Lily nodded, understanding how their adventure turned into an unforgettable memory. After receiving the trophy, they decided to join the other villagers and continue the festival. They helped set up games in a dry area, shared cotton candy, and even set up a small crafting station for those who wanted to make something special from the fallen leaves. As the festival continued, the sun shone brightly again. Children played freely, and families enjoyed each other's company. Mia looked around and felt grateful. The festival had become a celebration of unity and resilience. That night, as Mia lay in bed, she thought about the day's events. The rain that seemed like a disaster had turned into a moment of joy. She realized that resilience would always be her strength. She could face challenges, and so could everyone around her. In the village of Willow Creek, the power of resilience shone brighter than the rainbow that day. It reminded everyone that sometimes, when things don't go as planned, a little courage, a playful spirit, and a willing heart could turn a stormy day into a wonderful memory. And in that moment, Mia knew she would always believe in the power of resilience, wherever life would take her. As sleep took her, Mia smiled, dreaming of new adventures to come, fresh challenges, and the bright spirits she would face them with. She understood now that every cloud had a silver lining, waiting to be discovered, especially by those who dared to splash through the rain. Characters: Asterisk Alara, a young artist facing creative struggles. Asterisk Master Jen, an old, wise calligrapher. Asterisk David, Alara's supportive friend. The power of resilience. Alara loved to paint. Her small studio, filled with the aroma of turpentine and the bright colors of her canvases, was her happy place. But lately, her happy place felt more like a prison. Every brushstroke seemed wrong, every color dull. The inspiration that once flowed freely had dried up, leaving her with a blank canvas and a heavy heart. "It's just a phase," David, her ever-optimistic friend, would say. "Every artist goes through it. You'll find your spark again." But Alara wasn't so sure. Days turned into weeks, and still, the canvases remained untouched. She felt like a failure, a fraud. Maybe she wasn't meant to be an artist, after all. Discouraged, she wandered to the city park, seeking solace in nature. The vibrant green trees and colorful flower beds usually lifted her spirits. But today, they seemed to mock her creative drought. As she walked, she noticed an old man sitting on a bench, meticulously practicing calligraphy. His movements were slow but deliberate, each stroke filled with purpose. Intrigued, Alara sat down beside him. "That's beautiful," she said, watching him create elegant characters on a large sheet of paper. The old man looked up, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Thank you," he said with a gentle smile. "Calligraphy is more than just writing. It is a dance of the spirit. I used to feel that way about painting," Alara confessed, "but lately I've lost my way." "Ah," the old man said knowingly, "the path of an artist is never smooth. There will be times of great joy and times of great struggle. But how do you keep going when you feel like giving up?" Alara asked, her voice filled with despair. The old man chuckled softly. "Resilience, my dear. It is the most important tool an artist can possess." He introduced himself as Master Jian, a calligrapher who had dedicated his life to the art. "Resilience," Alara repeated, unsure what he meant. "Yes," Master Jian said. "It is the ability to bend without breaking, to rise after a fall. Like the bamboo that sways in the wind, we must learn to adapt to the challenges that life throws our way." He explained that resilience wasn't about avoiding hardship, but about learning from it. Every mistake, every failure, was an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. He shared stories of his own struggles, of times when he wanted to abandon calligraphy altogether, but he had persevered, driven by his love for the art and his belief in his own potential. "The ink flows best when the heart is open," Master Jian said. "Do not let your struggles close your heart, Alara. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them guide you." Inspired by Master Jian's words, Alara decided to try a new approach. Instead of trying to force inspiration, she decided to simply play with her art. She experimented with new colors, new techniques, and new subjects. She painted without expectations, without judgment, just for the joy of it. She started small, creating abstract pieces that reflected her emotions. She painted her frustration, her sadness, her hope. Slowly, she began to find her way back to her passion. The colors became brighter, the brushstrokes more confident. She was still struggling, but she was no longer defeated. David noticed a change in her. "You seem different," he said one day, as he watched her paint. "You seem lighter." "I am," Alara said with a smile. "I'm learning to be resilient." She continued to visit Master Jian in the park, seeking his guidance and wisdom. He taught her about the importance of patience, of self-compassion, and of finding beauty in imperfection. He shared ancient techniques and philosophies, helping her deepen her understanding of art and of herself. One day, Master Jian showed her a piece of calligraphy he had been working on. It was a single character, simple yet profound. "This," he said, "is the character for resilience." Alara studied the character, tracing its lines with her finger. She realized that resilience wasn't just about bouncing back from adversity. It was about embracing the journey, with all its ups and downs. It was about finding strength in vulnerability, and about never giving up on your dreams. With newfound determination, Ilera decided to tackle her biggest challenge yet. A large canvas that had been sitting untouched in her studio for months. It was a portrait of her grandmother, a woman who had always inspired her with her strength and grace. She started by sketching the outline of her grandmother's face, carefully capturing her gentle smile and her wise eyes. Then, she began to layer the colors, mixing and blending them until she achieved the perfect tone. She worked tirelessly, pouring all her heart and soul into the painting. There were moments of doubt, moments when she wanted to give up, but she remembered Master Jian's words, and she pushed through. She embraced the challenges, learning from her mistakes and celebrating her successes. Finally, after weeks of hard work, the painting was finished. It was the best thing she had ever created. The portrait captured not only her grandmother's physical likeness, but also her spirit, her resilience, her unwavering love. Ilera invited David to her studio to see the painting. He stood in front of it, speechless, his eyes filled with admiration. "It's incredible," he said finally. "It's like she's right here in the room with us." Ilera smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment she had never experienced before. She had not only overcome her creative struggles, but had also created something truly beautiful. She knew that the path of an artist would always be filled with challenges, but she was no longer afraid. She had learned the power of resilience, and she knew that she could face anything that came her way. Ilera continued to paint, her art becoming more vibrant and meaningful with each passing day. She never forgot the lessons she had learned from Master Jian, and she always remembered the importance of resilience. And so, Ilera's journey as an artist continued, filled with passion, perseverance, and the unwavering belief in the power of the human spirit.